Low energy, unfocused, foggy? You might be dehydrated. Whether it's hot yoga, over 100-degree weather, or too much sun. Gatorlight, with a specialized blend of 5 electrolytes, was scientifically designed to help move fluids into the body faster for rapid rehydration. Shop now at retailers nationwide. Gatorlight hydrates faster than water. Is it in you? Symptoms noted are signs of mild to moderate dehydration. Consult a healthcare professional if symptoms persist.
The new LinkedIn Hiring Pro can't undo your last hire, the no-show. Who set you back because they didn't show up on day 1, or day 2, or ever again. And now your product launch is delayed because you're talking to alien abduction podcasters to track them down. But LinkedIn Hiring Pro can help make sure your next hire sticks. In fact, businesses who use LinkedIn are 24% less likely to reopen a role in the next 12 months. Hire right the first time with LinkedIn Hiring Pro. Post a free job today at linkedin.com/quality.
This episode is brought to you by Accenture. When your advertising operations fall out of sync, everything else follows. Spotify and Accenture are working together to reinvent the rhythm of ad sales, using automation, analytics, and smarter workflows to simplify campaign delivery and access better data across the business. The result? Less time spent on operations, more time connecting brands with the moments and fandoms that matter most. Learn more at accenture.com/Spotify.
Coach Unplugged is brought to you by great people over at teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. From the Fifth Quarter Studios in Madison, Wisconsin, you're listening to Coach Unplugged. Here is your host, Steve Collins.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Coach Unplugged, episode 560. Happy Thursday, everybody. We're going to talk today about building your team through mental training and teamwork and shot selection, all those things. All the great things that people up at Dr. Dish do. They have great teamwork. They're helping you train and become better shooters. So go over and check them out. Mention Coach Unplugged, and they'll give you $350 off your next purchase. Also, like I said yesterday, make sure you go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. It's time to get in is now. Like I said, the programmer's been hired. We're starting to do things for the website. And like I said, I have this vast thing sitting over here waiting till Coach Collins' season's over, hopefully the end of March, but that I'm going to be able to get all that stuff out to the people on a regular basis. And, so go over and check that out before prices increase. You will not be disappointed. Come join our community. If you're looking for a mentor, you got one right here. All right, let's head off.
Okay, so here we go. So mental training. We spend, you'd be surprised how much time we spend with our teams talking about different things. Mental training is a big thing for us. And I'm not sure why this was orange for those that are not listening but are watching this at some later time. I don't know, it must have been Halloween or something. But, why do you do mental training? And I have for those of you that don't know, I have a really young team this year. We lost my 5 senior starters last year. We lost first time in 30 years. I had 5 seniors. So we've been doing more of this with this leadership and mental training and stuff that we have in Teach Hoops. I've done enough reading that I don't run these. So if you have some specific questions, I can get to the answers to these. One of my assistant coaches, Coach Olson, actually runs our leadership, runs our try. And the reason is they hear my voice enough as this is kind of binging off. They hear my voice, they hear me all the time talking, and they need to hear a different voice. And there's a little bit more freedom. I don't know, maybe a week or two ago, I sat outside the room and I was grading some papers or something while they were doing this. And it was good. It was good for me to kind of listen to it. And that's one of the reasons I wanted to share this with all of you. Why do we do mental trainings? Well, it's about, problem on the court, something happens, a bad foul, you get a charge call, you think, you're not shooting well, how can you correct those things and how can you move on from it? So, we always tell the kids, fix it. I tell the guys, stop it, get over it, move on, all those kind of things. And the thing is, we tell them that, but we don't tell them how to do it. Clean your room, but then we have to show them how to clean their room, correct? So it's the same thing with basketball players. We have to, if we want them to fix something on the court, we have to reiterate what we want them to fix and how we want them to fix it. There's not enough strategies out there for them. So this is a lot of this stuff is from Spencer Wood. He's a psychologist for the Bulls, the Celtics, some other teams. So first of all, there's a couple things that we really want to talk about. The 90% versus the 10%. Most people have problems and they don't figure out what they want to fix them. And this is the businessman in me. The 10%ers figure out this is the problem, and then how do I fix it, and then how do I pivot? My brother's a prime example of that. He's owned a ton of businesses. A lot of them have been very successful. Some of them have not. But he's learned to pivot. He's learned to, here's my failure. What can I do with it? And that's a good life lesson for them in school. So I didn't do well in this quiz. What can I do to fix it? So the next time I'll do better on it. And the people that are able, that 10% that are able to do that, are the ones that are driving around the BMWs. Want to know the truth for the most part, or they're really lucky, or they have a big trust fund. But the strategy that we talk about is you flush it, you fix it, and you forget about it. And if you went up to ask one of my players right now, because we did this training a couple of weeks ago, they would know what flush, fix, and forget is. They would know what I'm referring to, and it's pretty funny. So we'll go through those 3 stages. We'll talk about kind of a team fun bonding thing we do at the end, and then we'll just kind of as a little caveat, a little extra for you, a little golden nugget I referred to him as. We'll talk about how we talk about shot selection with our team and kind of how we go from there. So the first one is flush it. So literally it's what it means. 10 steps before you have 10 steps before something major and 10 steps after a mistake are the most important. So what do you do when you throw the ball away and turn it over in the fourth quarter? You have to have a plan for your body language. We've all sat in the gyms in the middle school and the elementary schools in the summer and high school and college and the NBA and watch people with really poor body language. So we call it the 10-step rule. You have 10 steps before something major, 10 steps after. What are you going to do afterwards? And we do the 2-clap theory, so I'm upset and then I move on. So you have 10 steps to fix it and then you're done. You got to let it go. You got to flush it down the toilet. You got to be done with it and you move on with your life. You don't want to give your advantage to the opponent. You don't want them to know that they've gotten to you, that half-court trap has gotten to you. You don't want to know that, they said something to you as you walked in the free throw line, you missed it. They got to you. You can't do it. You got to flush it. You got to let it go. And then I have a nice little, when I send this to you, there's a nice little video over here and here I can turn the volume off. You can tell I'm doing this live here. But anyway, it's Lance Stevenson. He's an NBA player. His body language, how horrible it is. It is not a pretty sight. Let me just tell you that. So interesting. Watch it. You can go. I have it. You can probably find 20 other ones on YouTube to kind of to show poor body language. But we'll just show you that one. All right. So hold on. People that are watching this, it's like, all right, I'm a tab addict. I do realize I have a problem. When I open Chrome, I end up with like 35 tabs. So it's something I'm working on. I'm trying to get better at it, but I tend to have a lot of them. Anyway, so moving on. Hold on, I got to click back on this. All right, there we go. So we flush it. Why is it not moving for me? All right, next one is fix it. So you have to use the 5 senses. You have to use smell. You have to abstract in your own mind, how are you going to fix this problem? So you can't wait until you have that turnover. You can't wait until the last second to do it. In your own mind, you have to see it. You have to smell it. You have to feel it. You have to use all of your senses, see it. You have to use all 5 of your senses, and you have to close your eyes. And we do a small, 20-second kind of activity where, okay, imagine the best thing that's happened to you in the basketball court. And I make them kind of sense it and smell it. You can smell the gym. You can smell the sweaty players. You can smell your girlfriend as you run by, or whatever it is. So you try to activate all those senses. And then we do a negative one. And I just want them to kind of get to that place. You have to go through the stage of this. Now, this is not fix it at the time. This is fix it before, fix it after. But how do you work your way out of it? How do you how do you go from flushing it, it's gone, to fixing it? Now, the flushing has to happen at the actual point of the game. The fixing it has to happen later. Maybe when you're watching film or you're doing something with coach or you're watching the film at home. Excuse me, I just hit the mic. So how are you going to fix the problem that's obviously happening? And then the big one is forget it. You got to move on. When I used to coach my son's little league team, it was I always referred to him as goldfish. Goldfish has a 3-second memory. I tell them basically, hold on, I'm going to turn my watch off here. I say, you got to fix it as fast as humanly possible. That is the one thing they always go off. So you got to forget it. Your inner voice and you got to have something. So I always said, follow when I would go to the free throw line, I always had an inner voice. I was a good free throw shooter. And I always tell them so you flushed it, you're not going to fix it at the point, but you're going to move on, and then you're going to forget it because we got a game to go win. So, hey, it's okay. We're going to do this. Or, I play my best when it matters the most, or I'm clutch, So I would say stuff to myself. I can think of things when I go to shoot a big free throw, or I hit a couple in college. I hit a couple like half court, 3/4 court shots. I remember coming out of the timeout. I'm going to hit this. I'm going to hit this. I got this. They're 50 feet, but I felt like I was going to get it. It's the law of dominant thought. You basically want that positive thought, that good thought, all those things kind of pulsating through your mind. So again, I'm going to stop here. We're about halfway through. Make sure you go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. And again, I'm giving this is my holiday gift to you. This is one of many things that we have on our site, but it's a great thing. Like I said, great time of year to go over and check it out. www.teachhoops.com for basketball coaches who want to get better. And I'm always getting better. I'm tweaking everything we always do, and we've won a lot. But when for those of you that are watching, look at all the books behind me. Some of them are Disney books, but most of them are basketball books or leadership books or business books or things like that. All right, so going back to forget it. So I had, and on the bottom of this, you'll see number 4, Snapchat. You're saying privately to me, no sharing. So that's my assistant coach again running this. He's on Snapchat. I am not because I'm old. But anyway, so he knows that. So he can, maybe we're coming out of a timeout. He can remind them, you got this. You're clutch. I play my best when it matters the most, or whatever you're needing to say. He can remind them to forget it. So again, flush it down the toilet, fix it, which is something you have to do throughout the season, and then forget it. Move on. I got this. You're at the free throw line. You got to hit 1 or 2, and you missed the first one. What are you going to do to forget that one and move on? Because your flush and your fix and your forget have to be in like 7 seconds. So again, I think as an educator and as a teacher, it's very important for us to teach them the proper way to do this. That's our role. And I think it's an important thing to do. All right. Then what we did was we did what we referred to as we broke the team. We have a free throw ladder, which I can talk about some other time, but basically I always know who's at the top of the free throw ladder. It's a free throw contest we do in our practice. Anyway, so it says in the top 4 free throws. So what happens is you basically have a draft. It's a 20-second draft clock. Boom, 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 boom. Who do you want? I have them all unlace their shoes. I've done this a couple ways. It's basically a relay race. You've got to tie your shoes, then you got to go take your partner. You got to go tie your shoes. You got to take your partner. Sometimes I have them tie other people's shoes in their teams, depending if it's even number and things like that. It's a basic relay race. It's crazy. We're tying shoes. It's a team building thing, but it's so great. And I call it the lace race for wings. Why is it a big? Because they want the wings. They don't care about tying their shoes. They don't care about the little game that coach is playing. They want wings. So what we're doing is we're putting them in to stressful things. We're talking about, okay, how do you forget it? How do you move on? What's the stressful? How does that stress feel? Winning team will get to go out, and in the bottom, and again, you can change this to the PowerPoint, but it says winning team goes out for wings after Tuesday's practice. It's a way of bringing them together. It's a fun thing. I'm filming this I'm doing this a day after Christmas. We just came back. We had a practice, and we took them to play laser tag. All that kind of stuff is the stuff that not only is important as a coach, not only important as an educator, not only important to teach them life lessons. It's the stuff that they're going to remember. It's the reason that we do this. So that's the last thing. And then the last thing is, remembering the hype level, how, and I left it as hype level because you should have seen this room. It was in my math room. It was crazy. I was 300 yards away and I could hear them. I was after school. It was like 5:00 at night or something, 5:30. And, but I wanted them to feel, what does that feel like? What does that feel like playing in front of a packed gym? What does that feel like? What's that hype level? So how can we control that? What can we do to do that? They're fighting for wings basically at that point. All right. Then the last thing that we did, and sometimes I'll jump in on this. It really depends. I let coach do a lot of it, is shot selection. So I do shot selection. We go through a game. I think at the time of this recording, we're 7-1, tied for first. Lost a tough one right before break. Had the lull that you normally have. But anyway, we went through that game and we basically did shot selection. We went from playing some prairie and taking great shots, not taking great shots. But anyway, and then we rank them. So 9 is an uncontested layup. 7 is a great shot. If it's uncontested, missing any of those. So a 7 is a great shot. It's uncontested. It's in range. And it's on balance. If you miss any of those, it goes down. So you could have a 7. You can have a 5. You can have a 3 or you can have a 1. And we rank them. And I literally can yell on practice. That was a 3. That was a 7. Oh, that was a 9. Good job. Way to attack the rim, those kind of things. So they know our 9, 7, 5, 3, 1 ranking system. And then the reason we go every other one is it leaves a little room. That was an 8. That was not an uncontested layup, but it was a good shot. It was a great shot. You were uncontested. You were in range. You were on balance. But it was a 4-footer. That's an 8. So it leaves you that's why we do the odds rather than every number. It leaves us as kind of teachers and educators a little leeway there to kind of put them in the thing. So what we've talked about today, we've talked about mental training. We've talked about teamwork. We've talked about the hype level. We've talked about shot selection. We did all of this by one of my assistants, 15, 20 minutes. Unbelievable how good it is to bring the team together, to make them more cohesive. It was something I would highly recommend that you as a coach, take this, change. If you don't like orange, change the color, change the PowerPoint, use it. If you make any tweaks, if you do anything like that, what I would ask is that you share so that I can make my presentation better. I'm learning too. If you found anything better with mental training or things like that, and you'd like to share it with me, I'd love to hear. Steve@teachhoops.com. Steve@teachhoops.com would be great. And I'm always looking to improve my things. And again, this is a small piece of what's in our community. Our community is so many different things for so many different people. Some people love the community. Some people like picking my brain. Some people like just all the resources, I don't even know, hundreds of hours of resources, of videos. They like watching the Hall of Fame coaches. Some people like the mini lessons. Some people like the newsletters. There is something for everybody. It's a great time to go check it out. 14-day free trial, www.teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. Stay warm. We're headed off to South Carolina for the Farm Bureau Classic. I think we're going to go back next year to Florida because it's a lot warmer than it is in South Carolina. But I hope everybody has a great New Year. And again, this next week's podcast will be on Tuesday, not on Monday, or not on our normal first. Will be on the second. Then we'll get back under our Monday routine, which I think everyone tends to like. So again, if you have any questions, you have anything that you want to talk to me about, let me know. And have a great holiday season. Hey, I hope you enjoyed that podcast as much as I did. If you did, go over and leave a 5-star review. If you didn't like it, don't do anything. Also, go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. Become a better coach. Take yourself outside of that comfort zone. Join our community. Let myself and our entire community help you through this great journey. Doesn't matter if it's parents. Doesn't matter if it's the kid not playing hard. It doesn't matter if you don't know how to break the 1-3-1 zone. We will help you. So go over and check it out. Have a great day.
Hey, it's Mike Rowe, and it just occurred to me that ZipRecruiter has been sponsoring my podcast, The Way I Heard It, for the last 10 years. Consequently, I've agreed to sing their jingle at the end of this commercial in 4-part harmony, all by myself. Why would I do that? Because years ago, when the MicroWorks Foundation was expanding and I was desperate to hire a few uniquely qualified individuals, I posted a job for free on ZipRecruiter, and I found the people I was looking for in less than 24 hours. It's that simple. Ever since, I've been telling my audience that ZipRecruiter got me the most qualified, most interested people. And now I'm telling you. Post a job for free at ZipRecruiter.com/zip and watch what happens. That's ZipRecruiter.com/zip. And now, here's their official jingle in 4-part harmony.
Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match at ZipRecruiter. Try it free.